I entered the nightclub restroom with him, and his endowment was substantial. I was thoroughly enjoying it. After some bravery, I resolved to communicate with you regarding my adultery. This narrative will elucidate how I discovered a way to save my marriage. My name is Charlotte. I am 33 years of age and married to William. My spouse is 35 years of age, and we have been married for about 12 years. Similar to several other couples, we are experiencing a crisis. My spouse and I have a young child. Following the birth of our most recent kid, circumstances deteriorated. The deficiency of sleep, financial constraints, and the perpetual fatigue from caring for the infant rendered us fatigued. Initially, we were much in love, and the birth of our kid brought profound joy to our lives. However, as time progressed, circumstances began to alter. My spouse increased his work hours to accommodate the additional expenditures. Our connection, once characterized by fervor and longing, has now become restricted to a few nevertheless intense instances. The altercations intensified, and the disputes were interminable. Carlos expressed dissatisfaction with my constant fatigue and irritability, while I saw his lack of enough assistance with household duties and our child. The frustration intensified, and gradually we became estranged. The absence of communication and time apart led to the deterioration of our marital bond, prompting the need to seek a resolution. I ultimately chose to enhance the relationship by purchasing toys, lingerie, and costumes. One day, I persuaded William to accompany me to a toy store, which was a novel and enjoyable experience for both of us. Initially, we entered with a degree of embarrassment, but we quickly began to laugh and explore the establishment. We purchased various items, including toys and costumes for a nurse and a police officer. On that day, we had a sense of rejuvenation, regaining the joy of our companionship. During the initial weeks, we capitalized on these new experiences and derived much enjoyment, as if the flame of our relationship were being reignited. I recall an evening when I donned one of the new lingerie sets, and Caro appeared to be the happiest guy in the world. We utilized the toys, shared laughter, and for a little period, it appeared as though everything was reverting to normalcy. Nevertheless, this enthusiasm was short-lived. We quickly resumed our routine. The toys were neglected at the rear of the closet, while the lingerie remained unused in storage. We never appreciated one another, and the endeavor to sustain active closeness appeared more challenging. My husband became distant once more, leading to my growing frustration. However, I persisted in my efforts, confident in our underlying love. I sensed that William was also attempting to address the situation. He did not wish to emulate those women who portray themselves as victims and use excuses for infidelity. I aimed to collaboratively resolve our issues. I contemplated various strategies to rekindle our passion, striving to be more affectionate, discussing our emotions, and exploring additional avenues for enhancing our relationship. We agreed to go out every weekend to disrupt our routine. Initially, we frequented bars and nightclubs with friends, intending to revive the lightheartedness and enjoyment we experienced at the onset of our relationship. These outings proved beneficial for both of us. The companionship of others, accompanied by laughter and vibrant talks, alleviated tension and provided a fresh perspective. In the bars, we danced and drank, momentarily escaping our everyday challenges. Upon commencing our visits to nightclubs, I engaged in extensive dancing, a passion I have always cherished. I relished every moment on the dance floor with my friends, feeling the music resonate inside me, liberating me from concerns and issues as I reveled in enjoyment. I observed my husband observing me from a distance. William preferred to maintain a distance, observing the movement while sipping his drink. He was never particularly fond of dancing, but I did not mind. The essential aspect was our shared presence, even if expressed differently. He appeared at ease, despite not having finished dancing with me, and seemed to be fully enjoying the ambience. I was unconcerned about envy or conflicts. Dancing independently with my friends provided me with a sense of liberation, but I harbored concerns that it would lead to complications in our relationships upon returning from the party. I inquired whether it was permissible for me to dance solo or with my companions, feeling rather anxious. I inquired of Honey whether she was comfortable with my dancing solo or with my pals. I do not wish for that to trouble you. William gazed at me with a smile and remarked, I don't mind, Honey. I enjoy watching you have fun. Your happiness brings me joy as well. His comment provided me with significant comfort, as it indicated that he did not feel excluded. Rather, he took pleasure in witnessing my enjoyment of the moment, which further eased my mind. This strengthened our resolve to keep going out and trying to rekindle the spark that seemed to be fading between us since we decided to go out every weekend. My friends couldn't always join me, and my husband wasn't a big fan of dancing, so I started dancing alone in the middle of everyone. The dance floor became my space where I could let loose and have fun without worrying too much about the looks around. The music enveloped me and made me feel alive while my husband watched from afar, appreciating that although he didn't actively participate, I felt comfortable enjoying the moment. One of those nights, while I was done dancing happily, a guy approached me and started dancing with me. His back was turned, and without looking back, I thought it was my husband, so I started dancing even harder, shaking my hips and grinding myself, completely absorbed in the music and the dance. It was only when the music changed and I turned to the side that I realized it wasn't my husband. The guy was a stranger, and the situation left me a little disconcerted and surprised. I'm not going to lie to you. The guy was quite attractive, young, tall, and very strong. I was speechless when I realized it wasn't my husband. I quickly apologized. Explaining that I had gotten confused, he also apologized. Saying he didn't want to cause any problems with that, I went back to my husband's table, who was watching everything from afar. I felt a little embarrassed, but I tried to act normally when I got to the table. I was afraid my husband would fight with me, but to my surprise, he asked if I was enjoying the dance and said it was okay for me to dance with other people. Since he didn't like going to the dance floor, he even encouraged me to ask the guy to play another song, which left me relieved and a little confused. I thought about it, thinking it could be a reason for a huge fight, but he seemed calm. I said it was okay and went back to dancing. I walked over to the guy I was dancing with and started dancing with him again. As the music got louder and the lyrics got bolder, our dance became more and more intimate. My husband was watching from afar with a look of desire and mystery. It was making me want to be desired and dominated in a way I had never experienced before. Seeing myself dancing for another man seemed to awaken an even greater desire in him, and it was making me extremely excited and anxious. After dancing with the guy, I thanked him and went back to my husband's table. He was visibly anxious, and I could tell the atmosphere was charged. We had been drinking, and the alcohol was quickly taking effect. When I arrived, he wasted no time in asking me if I had enjoyed dancing with another man. It took me a while to answer as I was thinking about the question, but I ended up saying yes, that I really had. I inquired of my husband whether he had derived pleasure from seeing me dance with another man. He affirmed that he had genuinely appreciated it. Suddenly, he presented me with a suggestion. He stated that I could kiss him if I desired. He asserted that it would be limited to that night and that there would be no repercussions. My husband seemed genuinely interested, and suddenly the idea didn't seem so far-fetched. His proposition was mixed with the alcohol and the excitement of the evening, and I felt intrigued by the possibility. My husband said he would stay at the table and watch from afar. I felt a growing and intense desire, so I went back to the guy. We started to talk in a more intimate and engaging way, and the chemistry between us was evident with each word and touch. The desire grew. After a while of talking to me, feeling more and more attracted to him, I decided to take the situation to the next level. I felt an urge to be alone with him, so I invited him to go to the bar bathroom, saying that I wanted to talk in a more private place. The guy, surprised, followed me. When we got close to the bathroom, I looked around to make sure no one was watching, so without hesitation I grabbed the guy with a rush of desire and kissed him. The heat between us was palpable, and I was completely enveloped in the feeling of power, while my husband discreetly observed everything from a safe distance. He was hidden, but he couldn't help but notice the situation. I escorted the man into the restroom while my husband remained outside, resembling a spectator. I now comprehend my husband's intentions and his enthusiasm regarding the concept of the bathroom. The atmosphere grew further electrified, and I persisted in surrendering to our impulses without restraint. My husband, positioned outside, was increasingly exhilarated by the sounds emanating from the bathroom. He could discern my groans and was acutely aware of the events unfolding within, which heightened the intensity of our shared experience. I was in love with what I was experiencing and completely surrendering myself to the pleasure of the moment. After a few minutes, the guy left the bathroom, and I, a little out of breath, started to leave too. But before I could reach the door, my husband pulled me back into the bathroom. He was completely taken by the situation and the action of the moment there in that small space. We began to make love in an intense and crazy way. We had never experienced anything so intense before. The combination of desire and atmosphere created an experience that left us breathless. I was so involved and addicted to this new form of pleasure that I gave in completely before continuing with this story. Leave your like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. After that wonder night, we went home laughing and full of energy. My husband seemed to be as pleased as I was on the way. He asked me if I'd enjoyed the idea and the experience. I answered honestly, saying that it had been incredible and that I wanted to do it again whenever we could. He smiled with a mix of joy and satisfaction and revealed that he had also found the experience fantastic. In the car, we started talking about what had happened, and to my surprise, he opened his heart and revealed that he had always had a secret desire to see me with other men, but had never had the courage to tell me. He was afraid that I would fight with him, and we would end up breaking up. That confession, far from causing any awkwardness, it seemed to seal a new understanding between us, further expanding what we experienced that night. After that revealing night, we decided to explore this desire further. We became adept at this new way of living our relationship. Almost every weekend we have fun with other men, and even with couples. These experiences not only rekindled the passion between us but also saved our marriage, bringing a new dynamic and enthusiasm to our life together. This new understanding and freedom gave new meaning to our relationship. I think couples should follow our example, talk openly, and seek solutions together instead of betraying the person they love because of small grievances. Establishing mutual understanding and fostering innovation within the relationship may enhance and fortify the marriage. Sustaining collaboration and mutual respect is vital. Confronting issues collaboratively and pursuing solutions advantageous to both parties rather than succumbing to treachery and disdain is crucial. If you appreciated this video, please subscribe to the channel and provide a like and comment on your thoughts on this narrative. Until next time.